does that even mean, Bowers game?
Oh, hi there, YouTube. I'm back again today for another game review, and today I'm very excited to check out Mint Tin Aliens from Subquark Games. This is for 2 players, ages 10 plus. It'll take about 5 to 15 minutes to play. I do want to mention, ignore that ages 10 plus. I think you could easily teach this to a 6 or 7-year-old. But in Mint Tin Aliens, you're going to be trying to collect different sets of cards and scoring points by doing that. But it's got a really intriguing twist where if you don't collect a set of cards on your turn, you're actually going to start losing victory points every turn. What am I talking about? It's a micro game, but is it good? Let's open it up and see it. Alright then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of Mint Tin Aliens. So inside of Mint Tin Aliens, you are going to be playing this game that is a very simple set collection game with a Ticket to Ride-esque card drafting action. So we'll go over the components and then we'll get into the gameplay. So component-wise, you're going to get cards, and more cards. And on these cards, there are going to be cows, there are going to be crop circles, there are going to be aliens, there are going to be UFOs, and there are going to be multi-pass, which are wild cards. Oh, and then humans with brains right there. You're going to be picking up these cards and then turning these cards in to gain victory points. The victory points are up here at the top. So if you turn in 4 aliens, you will get a mind control victory point. If you turn or your mind control card, which is worth 5 points. If you get 3 cows, you'll get this one, 2 crop circles, 2 spaceships, or 2 of anything gets you extra credit, which is only worth 1 point. Generally, you'll get those last, or when you don't really have that many options. Also, component-wise, each player is going to get a D10 die, which you will not be rolling during the game, except decide who goes first, but it actually has 9 victory points on it. And each turn that you don't collect one of these cards, you are going to lose 1 victory point, which makes a very interesting aspect to the game. There's also 3 meeples over here. These are victory points once again, and the first person who is able to get all 4 different types of cards minus the extra credit and collect those is going to get 2 victory points. The second player, who will eventually most likely get all 4 of these, will get 1 meeple and 1 victory point. So, last but not least, we have our handy dandy rules cards. They're pretty well done. They'll have you up and running in no time at all. The only slight complaint I have is that they put how the game end condition is in a kind of a weird spot. I feel like they should have put it in the scoring spot, but that's neither here nor there. It's not a deal breaker by any stretch of the imagination. So when you first want to start up the game, deal out cards. First player is going to get 4 cards. Second player is going to get 5 cards, and let's get this show on the road. So on your turn, what you're going to do is you are going to draft 2 or potentially 1 card. If you play Ticket to Ride, the rules are very similar. So first thing you're going to do is you can either draft one of these 5 cards out here or 1 card from the top. So you know what? I will take that card right there. Then this immediately gets replaced. And I'm looking for a UFO. So you know what? I'll take 1 off the top. I didn't get it. I got a cow. So now what's going to happen is I'm either going to turn in some cards to collect some victory points by collecting those there, or if I can't do that, I will go down 1 on the die pip, losing 1 victory point. But luckily we can. I can turn in these 4 humans, put them over here, and I will collect the human card and put it right in front of me. So now I have 5 points towards the end of the game, and now it is my opponent's turn. So they start off with 5 cards since they went second, and they actually have a multi-pass, which is a wild card, as I mentioned. Now the multi-pass actually has special rules when drafting it, very much like Ticket to Ride if you played that, where if a multi-pass was out on the board, so let's just pretend this was here, instead of being able to draft 2 cards, if I wanted this, I would have to take just 1 card. Now, if you get one by drawing a face-down card, if you get a multi-pass by drawing a face-down card, you still get to draw 2 cards there. So this guy, he'd look at his hand and he'd say, ooh, I got 3 cows. I can get 3 cows, so I'll collect this one. And then I'll be prepared for next round because I can also get this UFO. So he's got a UFO, and he's guaranteed to also have a crop circle. So he's actually got a really good hand right here. So he would play his 3 cows, turn those in, get this, gain 4 points, and continue forward. Now what you're going to do is you're going to repeat doing that over and over and over again until eventually what's going to happen is these cards are going to start running out. And as decks start to run out, it will be more difficult to play every turn, which means you're going to lose victory points. But you will continue to go until all the scoring cards are gone, at which point you will tally up the pip number on your die, your points you have on these cards, and the number of meeples you have, and whoever has the most points will be the winner of Mint Tin Aliens, and that, in a nutshell, is how the game is played. Alrighty then, Mint Tin Aliens from Subquark Games. What are my final thoughts? Go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the con side, it is a micro game, and that entails a lot of things generally. It's going to be very repetitive, and this game is very repetitive. Also, it has micro cards. Obviously, that's just the nature of the beast. It doesn't have too many choices. On your turn, it's just, I'm going to draw 2 cards, and then I'm going to try and play something every single turn. And you're just going to do that over and over and over again, so it can get repetitive. Also, this is kind of a meta thing, but of the 3 Mint Tin games, this is my least favorite of the 3. I'm going to say that I enjoy this game, and I do recommend this game to certain people, but I like the other 2 games better. So if you're only getting one, I don't think this is the one I would recommend getting out of the 3 Mint Tin games that are out right now. Another minor con that I had with it is that I wish the victory points were listed on both sides of the victory point cards, because on this side it just says what you need to collect to get the victory points, to get the card, but it doesn't actually say how many points it's worth. So I'd like to see just that minor addition to the game. Also, small nitpick of the rules, I wish that how the game ends was with the scoring instead of where it is. It's not a big deal at all, but it is something that I did want to mention. Any other cons? 2 players, very restricted player count, and that's about it. If you come into this knowing that this is a lightweight 2-player micro game, Mint Tin Aliens is a fun little game, and I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to after reading the rules, and that's because it has just enough going on to keep it intriguing, because there are a couple different aspects to the game that I like. First and foremost, there is that race to get those 2 meeples as opposed to the 1 meeple when you're trying to collect the We're Here and the alien abductions and the sightings. When you're trying to race, there's a little bit of a race aspect to the game, as, yeah, it would be nice to get 2 mind control cards, but at the same time, you would probably be sacrificing, getting those meeples. Also, I like the concept that you lose victory points if you do not if you don't get a card each and every turn. I like that aspect to the game. I also like how as you progress through the game, there's going to be less victory point cards to attain, which means it's going to be more difficult. And you'll get down to the times where you're like, oh, I really need to draw this card, and it's like, yeah, I did, or no, I didn't, and you're like, oh, so now I lose a victory point. But at the same time, you're going to have extra cards in your hand, which can potentially help you out later. So overall, Mint Tin Aliens, I enjoyed it. Artwork is serviceable. Components are nice. They feel like they could take it if potentially you spilled water or something on it, because I imagine this is the kind of game that'd be perfect for a dinner night or something like that. But overall, Mint Tin Aliens, while not my favorite of the Mint Tin games, definitely a solid little micro game that I can recommend, especially if you have some younger ones, maybe like a 6, 7, 8-year-old. I think they'll have a blast with this game. So that is Mint Tin Aliens from Subquark Games, one that I can recommend. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to click on the subscribe button down below in the comments below. Let me know if you could have a robot at your house that would do one household chore for you. They would do all of that household chore. What chore would that be? For me personally, I think it would be laundry. I think it'd be laundry, because my wife just gets so stressed out about laundry, and the robot, especially if it could take the laundry and put it exactly where it goes, oh, that would be amazing. If it could collect the laundry, then do the laundry, then put the laundry where it goes, that would be fantastic. But what laundry robot chore thing words would you do? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.